Yo, yo, yo. Hey, everybody. What's happening? What's happening, everybody? This is the Cali Current Podcast with your host, Ish.
And your other host, Grimace.
Today, we're going to hit it off. We're going to start it off with boneheaded moves. I'm sure everybody's done some in their lifetime. I'm sure I've done so many in my lifetime. I mean, I'm almost, half of a century old, and
Okay.
I've done a lot of boneheaded moves. How about you? You think you've done a lot of boneheaded moves?
Oh yeah, I've done so many boneheaded moves. Hey, I'm glad to just be alive. Trying to get to being an old man, and yeah, with all the boneheaded moves, all the experience I've done, yeah, I'm grateful just to be breathing another day.
Yeah, I think the most worst one that I think I've done is actually literally put aluminum foil in a microwave. I mean, I'm sure a lot of everybody has done a little bit of that, maybe once or twice at the very most. Sometimes we're not thinking, we're like, well, we want to get our food all prepped, and it was in one of those possibly, take home containers, and it's like, oh, well.
Or like when a celebrity or famous person, they like send out a tweet or they put a post, and then they forget they actually accidentally leave a credit card in the picture, and then all these people start like buying stuff with their credit card.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard of things like that. That's another good one too.
Well, there was this one time when I went to a party. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. Party I have. I quickly in passing, whatever the case may have been. When I went to a party with my brother, I took my nice brown leather jacket that I only wore occasionally because I'd like to take care of my things. And then I took a brown leather bounded, whatever. They don't really use those anymore. Nobody does actually because everybody does on their phone, on a whatever pad, iPad, whatever the case may be. It was a nice agenda book, and it was nicely binded and perfect. I was so dumb, and of course, I had my leather wallet, and I don't know, I probably had like $50 in there, and I left them to my brother, my twin brother, who likes to drink, and at that party, because he was more concerned about chasing tail that night than to take care of my things, and I let him use it, and I think I was dancing because we knew the people at the party.
All right.
Quinceañera. And a fight breaks out, and there goes my stuff. All of it gone.
Damn.
That's what happens when I trusted my brother because he likes to drink more than I do.
Yeah, I mean, when drinking's involved, yeah, you definitely got to make sure like everything that's of value is secured. I mean, there was one time my friend had a birthday party for him and his son, and then he's like, I think he had to pay the DJ or something. And then he's like, hey, do you have change? I only got 100. I was like, yeah, I have some change. So I broke his 100. He gave me the 100. I gave him a bunch of change, smaller bills to pay the DJ or the taco man. And then since we were drinking, I didn't really pay attention. I just put the 100 in my pocket, which I should have put the 100 in my wallet.
You should have put it in your back pocket where nothing's going to come out when you're looking for your keys and stuff.
And that's exactly, I think, what happened was I put it in my pocket where my keys were. When it was time to go to my truck, I just get my keys out of my truck it has like a little mini lanyard. And then I probably didn't notice. And then
you don't notice. You didn't notice because you're probably too S-faced to even recognize that you had anything in your pockets.
I wasn't S-faced. I would just say like I probably didn't notice. Like, had a good time at the party, got in my truck. Okay, went home. The next day I realized, oh crap, the $100 bill. And then I go back the next morning. I was running some errands. Like, oh, let me just drive by my friend's house. Yeah. And then there was a car parked there already. So I was like, oh, someone came up. But the way I took it was, you know what? Maybe a couple years ago, maybe back in 2013, around there, I was in around Brea. I lived around there at that time. And then I went to the Verizon store. And then, I park in the parking, and as soon as I open the door, I see $100 on the floor.
Oh, that's karma right there for you.
Yeah, so I was like, it's karma. I was like, I was like, you know what? At least back then when I was younger, $100, I much needed that $100 back then. Versus now, I mean, don't get me wrong, $100 is still hurts, but and not as like. Back then, I needed it more than I need it now. So
$100 today is like $20 back in the day, like 20, 30 years ago.
Kind of something like that.
Because, it just depends, I guess. Well, I actually found a wallet not too long ago, about almost 2 years ago. Yeah, it's already been 2 years where I worked for the old courthouse close to where I worked in Riverside at the old county courthouse. It's called the Old Historic Courthouse. And right there's everything. There's sheriff's offices. There's, I think, the CHP's down there. Everything is downtown. It's whatever. Everything is all, what is it called? The Civic Center. So I swear I found a big fat wallet. I'm not kidding. It was a woman's wallet. It was full of cash.
Oh, woman's wallet? Isn't that called like a clutch? It's like a longer
it was a clutch. Yeah, it was a
go.
clutch. And I'm like, where's everybody at? And I'm staring at the wallet, and you can literally clearly see the
on the floor.
Bills. It was on the floor, yeah.
And you could see the bill money
you could
bulging out.
You could see a big time bulge. Like it was a half an inch thing.
Oh, that's like a paisa hustler lady.
Big time. Oh yeah. Oh,
because normally the paisa dudes, they got like a bulge they got like a bulge of cash. That's why I was like, it was like a hustling high, not.
Yeah, well, I picked it up because I'm like, I was going back from lunch. I think I had moved my car or something. Or it was in the morning actually when I was gonna come in. So I picked it up and I'm like, should I keep it? Should I not keep it? I was contemplating it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's Civic Center. I'm sure there's cameras up the yin yang everywhere, all over the place. So all I did was pick it up. I basically kept it in my hand so everybody could see that I wasn't trying to pocket anything. And I walked into the courthouse and I just handed it to the security lady, which I don't know what happened. I guess eventually she picked it up according to the lady. Security lady.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Like one time I was at the gym and then, you put things in your gym, sweatpants, whatever.
Yeah.
They fall out easily. So I had the charger for my earbuds, my wireless earbuds. And then, I noticed because, I always like to check, make sure I have everything on me when I'm at the gym. And then I noticed they had fallen out. And I was like, oh, dang. So I go to the front counter. And I was like, hey, did anybody turn in any earbuds? And then the front counter girl was like, oh, yeah. So I was glad that, no one pocketed it because I had one in my ear. And then the other one was still in there. So if someone wanted to keep it with my earwax residue, they could have.
Oh, that's nasty, man.
Yeah, it's a little nasty.
Okay, well, the one time that I got good karma, I mean, technically it was half and half because it could have been bad karma, but a good karma. I dropped my wallet somewhere. I don't know where I dropped it, whatever the case may have been. In front of my friend's house. I was about like 18, 19 maybe. And I used to go there a lot, actually, quite often. Maybe the neighbors saw me walking in or something. And they saw my wallet on the ground or whatever. But the point is that I probably had like about, I don't know, $30, $40 at that time. A bunch of ones maybe about 20-ish years ago, 25 years ago. And they returned the wallet with no money. But at least I got all my documents, right? I mean, I don't know if that's considered bad karma or good karma.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it does obviously hurt to lose money. But losing the documents hurts.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one of my friends, she was like, oh, we went out. And she's like, I lost my driver license. Basically, I think she lost her wallet because she got too probably S-faced.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah. And then I asked her, like, oh, so were you able to recuperate everything? Yeah, but I had to go to the DMV. I had to go reorder a new license.
Hassle. Yeah.
And she had her social security card with her.
Damn.
I was like, damn, really? Like, why are you carrying your social security card?
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of people do.
Really?
I carry mine. Oh, I don't know if I carry it now. I mean, I
would say don't carry that.
That's the thing.
That's at home.
That's the only time that I've lost my social security card was when I lost my agenda, my brown leather bound agenda.
Oh, because you had it in there.
Yeah, because I was 17. I was a kid. I didn't care. I didn't know any better.
But the brown, like I could see like a brown leather bound agenda seems like a secure thing. But if you would leave it at home, then yes. But if you're traveling with it, because I would assume an agenda, you're like writing, taking it with you, then yeah, you don't want to.
Well, I didn't write anything. And I mean, technically I carried it to write stuff because I wanted to be a comedian. I used to write jokes or just poems or whatever. Poetry.
Oh, damn. Poems, lyrics,
well,
and stuff?
I mean, I did it on my spare time a lot.
Oh,
but,
cool.
Yeah, well, that was bad karma. The worst boneheaded move I've ever done, and to me, it was really freaking bad because I'm such an idiot sometimes, was when me and my friends went to Cancun. My friends and I went to Cancun. It was about 2003-ish. And I think this was the second time that we went because we already had gone one time. And I don't know what happened. I still wasn't a citizen. I was a resident still, a resident alien.
Oh, damn, you're a citizen right now?
I'm a citizen now. I became a citizen in 2002. So this was like around 2001, right before I became a citizen, actually. So I was dumb. I got my Mexican passport, but I didn't take an American passport. I think I've already mentioned this.
Wow.
Where I'm like, oh, nothing's gonna happen to me. I speak English good. They're not gonna question me because look at me, I'm brown, I have a big ass nopal on my forehead. And lo and behold, I couldn't fly back from Cancun to Houston, even though I could fly into Mexico. Mm-hmm. It's like there's an analogy I don't remember from one movie where it's like you can come into Mexico no problem. It's like they're giving away free stuff and everybody just shows up like whatever. But when you try to come back into the U.S., that's when they make the big deal about it, right?
Yeah.
So that's the worst thing that I've ever done is just taking a Mexican passport on an international flight. That's a boneheaded move of the lifetime right there.
Yeah. What about right now? Do you have dual citizenship or?
Yeah, I'm a dual citizen. I have my Mexican resident voting card, and I just got that recently when I went in December. But yeah, I have it just to have it over there, but I'm not gonna vote over there.
You know what? This church friend, he's like a coordinator. He helps a lot at the church. I was just talking to him because we're doing work on his car. And he was telling me how he has dual citizenship, him too. And he's like, you know what? I'm ready. Like my retirement, I think he was saying he's going to retire in 2 years. And he was telling me about that too, how he has dual citizenship. And he was telling me that he's going to get a retirement from here in the States and also in Mexico. And then I was like, what? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, also females in Mexico. He's like, I think the new Mexican president, she's a female. She just like authorized like all females could retire like at 60 years old, and like you don't have to like contribute to their system. It's because they acknowledge that a lot of people were working in the fields, and especially she acknowledges that the work of a woman is like tremendous, maintaining the household.
Wow.
So they're retiring people over there in Mexico. I was like, damn.
Well, my dad tried to get that done because he did work.
That?
He did.
I just found out about that today.
Well, I know about that because he did work up from like the age of 10 all the way up to like, I don't know, 20 when he came over here. I said that on the last podcast when he came over when he was 21 on actually episode number 20. Now that I remember, because we just put it out yesterday night, and he was trying to get money. It's called an aguinaldo over there, basically retirement money.
An aguinaldo.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
A new word of the day for me.
Yeah, we're going to start doing that. The word of the day for everybody.
An aguinaldo.
We can be a Spanish word, a French word, an Italian word, or an English word, or Japanese.
Nalgas con an aguinaldo.
But the point is that he wants to collect because he did work 10 years, give or take, from the time he still lived over there growing up, coming here. But I'm like, I don't know anything about that, Dad. I don't know how to go about it.
Some guy was saying that, or no, I was asking my dad, telling my dad about it. I was like, hey, the homie was saying this, and he's saying, oh yeah, that I guess because a lot of people were working in the fields, like a lot of like countrymen from Mexico work like that without reporting it, so that's why the government like they're fine. But it's like a low base amount. It's like a low base amount. I think it's like $300 a month. But over a year, that's like $36.
$300 or 300 pesos? 300 pesos a month is $15 here.
Yeah.
Which is nothing, right. Which is not a lot, which is basically what are you going to buy for $15, especially over there because inflation is happening all over the world, not just here in the U.S. If it happens here in the U.S., inflation is going to be felt all over the world. I mean, especially in Canada or in Mexico because there are neighboring countries. Anyways, well, that's what we wanted to start with because I'm sure a lot of people have experienced the fact that things happen, especially you can control the way things happen or not, or the way you make your decisions.
Yeah, just make sure, make sure you don't have your social security card. Like, keep it in a safe place at home. Don't put it on your...
Don't carry cash either.
Hey, but have cash. I remember one of my neighbors was always saying, like, hey, have cash just in case, Skylink takes over and... Just over some conspiracy stuff, but R.I.P. to the homie that told me that. He coincidentally like died on the way home. But I mean, he would ride motorcycles. He was like an older man though. He was like maybe early 60s, but he had a lot of conspiracy theories. It was like, you know what? I think it was like intentional. Like, sorry to the family.
He would have been a great first guest because eventually we're gonna have our guests.
He had a lot of good conspiracies, and he always told me, always have some cash on you just in case the grid goes down. Because he was also talking to me some stuff about Felum 22, some training that the government runs, like in
What about gold?
busy areas.
What about gold bars? Because silver or gold bars. I think that's the best way.
Yeah, and all that. That's
Because
for a good amount of
crypto
money.
can be hacked. Crypto can be manipulated. Crypto can basically lose its value. Right now, how much is whatever the Bitcoin, right? 60,000 a coin.
No, I think it's at like 80,000.
Okay, well,
jump back up.
Well, the point is, it could be at 10. It could be at 20 eventually.
I mean, when I was young, I first heard about Bitcoin, and I was like, "Oh man, you could buy a bunch with like $1. Like it wasn't even worth half a penny." But then I didn't get into it because I was like, you know what? If someone hacks it, then there goes all the money.
Yeah.
And then now, like fast forward to like last year, I was like, wow, it's unhackable or something. Like, dang, I imagine if I would have like just put a couple dollars into it. But then now, just like 2 days ago, I heard that someone did hack into the Bitcoin, and they hacked like a lot of Bitcoins. Like it was like $500 million worth of Bitcoin. But what they did, this sneaky hacker, they dumped it into another coin to make the other coin value shoot up.
Yeah, that can happen.
So I was like, oh, there you go. I mean, low key, I'm kind of happy that happened because I was like, man, like, why didn't I do it?
Well, it's not foolproof. It's not.
Yeah, but that's why as a young kid, I was like, man, as soon as someone hacks it, and there's like, even at that time when I was like into computers as a child, I was like, man, like hackers were everywhere. Even to now, right now, it's like, as soon as they hack it, then it's
they're even worse now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think just all the hackers are more like, they're more they want to have like a level field. No, like they want to have respect for the game, but at the same time, it is the wild west on the internet.
It can be.
So I want to say that they have a respect for the Bitcoin, but I think they're starting to lose it, and that's why someone just got hacked or whatever that happened right there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, just so you know, everybody, you're listening to the Cali Current Podcast. Actually, you're streaming. You're not streaming it. You're watching it on YouTube and Spotify. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please, we do advise to hit the bell notification button.
Yeah,
just so you can get your what I was gonna say reviews. That doesn't even sound
get
right.
The notifications, but I mean, even
so
then,
you can get
like,
notified whenever a new episode comes out, and we would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, but even if you do it, hit the notifications. I mean, I have other podcasts, or even this one where I listen to and notify, and for whatever reason, I don't get the notifications. But hey, nonetheless, still hit it.
Yeah, well, it just depends, I guess. It depends on how you have your settings too. You have to check your settings.
But what about back to masks? I keep hearing. Well, not I keep hearing. I've heard recently, like other countries are going back to masks. For sure, I heard China be implementing the masks again.
Everything is very uncertain because, especially here in the U.S., because of the measles outbreak that's happening, especially in Texas, where they have the most cases. California has cases now, and we're up to 88 or 890 cases, confirmed cases of measles outbreak. I could say 90. It's probably up to 900 maybe.
Damn.
I mean, it's just gonna get worse and worse. That's the way I see it.
Are you gonna start wearing masks?
I have to. I mean,
do you wear
I should wear a mask because I work with kids, and kids carry germs all the time.
Okay, you work with kids, and then you also drive the rideshare apps.
I'm trying to drive a little bit less, more and more, especially after today, because there was an incident where today I was talking to another fellow driver that I picked up by coincidence. Because he was carrying his two dogs and he was getting off the off ramp of the freeway because hit the car that he bought because he's an auctioneer. He sells cars, and he was carrying both of his dogs, and I felt bad for him. So I'm like, stop, because I was on my way for another fare, but it wasn't a lot. $5 a 7-minute ride from wherever I was gonna pick up. I was literally down the street from it, but I'm like, I canceled it, and I picked up this guy he was about in his late 60s, early 70s, maybe.
Damn, so that's kind of old.
Yeah,
early 70s?
And I felt bad for him, so I just canceled my ride, and I picked him up, and I take him to go get some gas with this. So he had to get a thing that he gave me for a tank, a 2-gallon red, whatever is it called, refillable, right? Gallon?
I think it's 1 gallon. Hey, that's what's up,
2 gallons.
I remember, I forgot where I heard it about, but they were saying, like, one of the presidents or one of those old school, like, old school presidents would say, like, they would say, "What is the good deed I did today? Like, how did I help someone today? Like, dang, dude, that's what you did right there. You helped that ninja."
Not because I didn't look. I felt bad for him, and mostly also because he was carrying 2 dogs. He wasn't walking them; he's carrying them.
What kind of dogs were they?
They're not Yorkies. Oh my gosh.
Yorkshire Terrier.
I think yes, Yorkshire Terriers.
Well, that's the York.
Yeah, the big
Yorkie
ones, the medium ones.
Oh, the big ones.
Yeah, the medium ones.
Yorkshire Terriers are a little small.
Yeah,
like
they're medium
Chihuahuas.
ones, like 20 pounds or less.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
the point, he had 2 of them. They were Spanish names, Saxophone, and the other one was called something. I forgot.
He named his dog Saxophone?
In Spanish, because he was a Spanish speaker.
How do you say saxophone in Spanish? Saxofono.
Saxophone.
Saxofono.
Saxophone. So anyways, I mean, yeah, I was being nice because I'm like, I felt bad for him. He was walking off the freeway. There was no gas stations around. I literally have to take him like half a mile out of the freeway.
Was he wearing chanclas?
No. Well, the thing is, he was going to deliver a car that he literally just bought to sell. And that's what he does. He's an auctioneer.
You did say that. He's an auctioneer.
So
that's right.
He said he started his day. He lives in Hermosa Beach or somewhere around there, Redondo Beach.
Oh,
and he went to LAX, and from LAX he went to John Wayne Airport, and from John Wayne Airport he ended up where I picked him up, which was from there it's like 45 minutes to about like 35 miles. He only had like 10 miles to go to where he had to deliver the cars. The point being is that it just happens. You know, God gives you whatever. He said I was a godsend, but I don't see it that way. I'm like, everything happens for a reason. And my point being is that he was talking to me because he said he drives for Lyft, and he said that, that it's getting worse and whatever, and now he doesn't drive as much. Point being is that I should wear a mask regardless because I never know who I pick up.
I mean, yeah, because when you're ride sharing, you're in a close proximity with the riders.
Yeah.
They're right next to you. I mean, you're sitting right here and like literally within arm's length, like for sure of a basketball player like Shaquille O'Neal, arm's length. That's how close you are to them. So I mean,
that's a pretty long wingspan.
That is a pretty long.
That's like 5 feet.
Damn, Shaquille O'Neal. That's like
that's 5 feet.
That's like 2 of my hands. That's pretty far.
You realize that his wife, when he was married to her, whatever her name was back, 20 plus years ago, was like half his size. So it's like, okay, how did that work logistically?
I mean, I've seen a picture or something of his wife. I don't know if he's with the same wife.
No, he hasn't been with her for over 10 years.
Oh, so he's already like divorced her.
Well,
I don't really know.
You already know these athletes. I don't know. I mean, I'm not to disparage the guy.
Hey, he's a good businessman though. He's Shaquille
I'm not ragging on him. I'm not ragging on him.
He's on point with the business.
Yeah, but
the personal relationship.
But I wanted to say is that I also work with kids, and today I'm not kidding. This one girl. We're at the playground. I was working with Kinder today, and big time like luggy right here. What would a moco? Huge, like dang, like it was almost gonna touch her top lip. And I'm like, hey girl,
you should got the napkin and be like,
I no. Well, we were in the playground. I said, hey baby, go please go clean that off. Thank you. I don't remember her. I mean, I don't know her name because I don't know everybody's name. I just there are 4 or 5 different kindergarten classes in that school where I'm working at. And it's like I had to tell her, "Hey, baby, go wash it off. Go clean yourself.
Go wash it off."
I don't know what to say to her. What do you
hit it with
do?
the napkin? She'd be like, "Swipe."
Really? What napkin? Oh, I did have napkins in my pocket. I could have easily helped her, but I said, "Go wash it off," because sometimes they'll clean it off with whatever. They don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
And then
they
don't know none of that, and then they're not gonna wash their hands because they're gonna keep playing.
Or if it's a dry booger, then like
it wasn't a dry one, but it was literally hanging. I'm like, it was literally about to touch her top lip. I'm like, dang, should I say something or not? And I had to tell her.
You have to. It's a child.
I had to.
I mean, me and my sister would like low key make fun of other kids when we were younger. Be like, like you're like them. You're like them little kids with the dry mocos. The dry snot all in your mouth.
Well,
or in your lips.
I always wanted to bring it up, and there's this one kid when I grew up, and I'm not going to say his name because he actually lives, he's a Pacific Islander. That's all I'm going to say. He's going to know.
Boy.
Well, every single day he came in and he had a dry nose and he always had something dry in there. Wow. But sometimes when he had something that was fluid, I just was freaked out. I was grossed out, but I never could have the heart to tell him to clean it up.
Why? That could have been your good deed of the day. Just telling him like, "Come on, baby."
Because it was a daily activity. But you know what was funny though?
Take a little spray bottle.
You know what was funny? I think it was something that happened in his family because he had an older brother who was like 2 years older who was also have an older brother. Excuse me.
Okay.
Who was at least 2 years older, and he was in my brother's class, and he had the same issue. And I'm like, what? I'm like, how is this, that they both have the issue? It's like, what is it? Does it run in the family now that I'm thinking about it? But then again, there was also a Hispanic boy, too. He was tall, but his sister was huge, like big time, but they were Hispanic, though. I'm talking about the other boy that, too, he came all the time. And it was a little cholillo because he dressed like it. He wanted everybody to know that he was a little cholillo.
I mean, yeah, stereotypical, Latino, Hispanics, a little bit shorter or average size.
But I couldn't say anything to him because he would have his sister beat me up if I would say anything.
The sister? Damn.
She was huge.
Well, then, you guys are young, right? Because at the younger age,
I was we were like 8, 9, 10. I still remember their names. I can't say who they are because they're going to remember.
They're not going to remember. Come on.
Okay, so the Hispanic boy's his name was Caesar, and for some reason he always had a runny nose. He always had a dry mucus on his nose. And the other kid, his name was Sammy too. I'm sure he's going to remember me. I'm not going to say his last name because I'm sure, he was very popular, especially because we went to junior high together.
I'm going to guess his last name is Mulan, and he's a dog whisperer.
No. But he was a Pacific Islander, Sammy. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, he's gonna remember. I mean, I don't have him on my social media anymore because for some reason people get upset at me or something. People don't like my honesty for some reason. I don't know. Well, I mean, you would say that, right? You would vouch for that because most of the family that we used to hang out with, they would say the same thing about me.
Yes, his honesty is really blunt. Sometimes a little bit too blunt. I mean, it makes me laugh. I enjoy it. But then, yes, at the time.
But it's for comedic purposes. It's not really so much that I feel that way.
But the people don't understand that it's for comedic purposes. I mean, for me, I get a kick and joyful laughter out of it. But then once the other family members get mad, and I'm like,
we hung out this past weekend.
We're about to have a dispute. But we're about to see some fisticuffs.
But it's never me. I'm never the one that wants to fight. People always want to.
Yeah, it's never him.
People always want to hit me for some reason. It's like, okay, well, it's not the first time I've ever been sucker punched.
He pushes the buttons, and then the fisticuffs.
It's called a psychological game. That's what it's called.
It is. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, it takes two to dance. So it's like if you just control your emotions and
they're just words for crying out loud. That's all I do.
Words do hurt. And by the way of words, don't discount yourself. I mean, I heard you earlier today. You're saying that you're like you refer to yourself as I'm so stupid. Like don't.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
I didn't say I was stupid.
There you go.
Being stupid is one thing, but being an idiot is something entirely different.
Don't discount yourself. Like me, I take it as words are powerful. In this world.
I just say that just for comedic relief, like I've already mentioned, because this show is supposed to be entertaining, right?
Yes, but still, nonetheless.
I think of this show as an informative entertainment type of value that we bring to your households and to whatever format you're listening on.
Yeah, so if you agree, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure let you know if what he's saying is funny or not. And if you're one of the people that's ever want to throw fisticuffs with the Ishmael, let it be known, and we might set it up with some boxing gloves.
Hey, why not? Hey, anything to get a little bit of publicity going on, especially for the Cali Current Podcast.
For the Cali Current Podcast. And I haven't checked on the last episode. We're still trying to see who could top off. I don't remember exactly what it was, but if someone could top off, I think a story we had, whatever story it was, we're about to do a giveaway. I think the giveaway I want to do is maybe like some avocados or something. I got an avocado tree in the backyard.
Well, we get to give something more away. I'm willing to throw in a $20 gift card to In-N-Out.
Yeah, damn. I'm about to.
I'll send if you. I mean, I can email you the code. I can text you the code. It doesn't matter.
So in the last episode, we had a little contest. Hey, make sure you check it out if you haven't checked it out, and maybe you could be the winner. And
get a free meal on us on the Cali Current Podcast. And some avocados if you're ever around.
Avocados. California grown,
You know,
baby.
avocados are worth gold right now because they're going for like $3 for the little ones.
Green gold. But don't tell the cartels, because I seen them cartels shaking down people in Mexico for that. Like,
yeah, well, that's another story we're not going to get into.
that's why I love America. Yes, let's go. Protect me.
So don't forget you're watching the Cali Current Podcast. Thank you very much for being here. We do appreciate your time, your efforts, your comments. If you ever want to write us, we can always interact and write back no matter what. No matter what, you could always hit us up on calicurrentpodcast@gmail.com as well.
Yeah, whatever he said. Peace out, everybody.
Thank you very much. Take care. God bless and stay blessed.